It's one of my favorite things when I'm able to take one of my boys to a movie with me so I can get their kind of view on things as well. It was funny, I took my 8-year-old to see Journey to the Mysterious Island, or Journey to the Mysterious Island, whichever you want to say. It's clever like that. I took him to see that, and we got out, and before I get into my own thoughts, I thought I'd give you his review of Journey to the Mysterious Island. I asked him what he thought, and he said this: "It was awesome!" There you go. From my 8-year-old to you, it was awesome. Journey to the Mysterious Island, I'll tell you whether or not I agree here in a second, is a movie that follows Journey to the Center of the Earth that came out a few years ago. I think Brendan Fraser was in that one, and it was kind of this kooky movie that followed the imaginative world of Jules Verne and that story and what it might look like, and used modern effects, and actually one of the first movies that really embraced 3D, because this was several years ago, but it was in 3D. You could see it in 3D in the theaters, and now of course you can see almost anything in 3D. And this movie follows along that same path. It is a movie about the imagination of Jules Verne. And underneath it, there's some stuff about family and fathers and sons and stepfathers and stepsons and relationships that I think is pretty interesting and fairly positive and compelling. But really, this is a movie about giant bees and tiny elephants, just like you saw in the preview. That's what this movie at its heart is about. Was it awesome? How do you want to judge it? No, not really. It's very poorly acted. It's very tritely written. There's nothing interesting about the dynamic of the dialogue or anything like that. The relationships are expressed but aren't felt. I never felt a real relationship between the father, or the stepfather I should say, who by the way is played by Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and the son. And there's a lot missing if you really want to look at it with those eyes. It's just, not that great. But the truth of the matter is, some of the things in this movie are really imaginative and fun, and they're fun to look at. And I think what the movie does right, what this movie gets right, is that it emphasizes its strengths and downplays its weaknesses. In other words, like in this movie, you are to the island, seeing the amazing stuff within minutes. They don't take a lot of time setting everything up because they know that's not their strength. That's not the strength of this movie, is the underlying relationships and message and that kind of stuff. It's there, but they know it's not the strength. So they get to the island right away, and much of the movie is spent exploring this island and the big creatures and the little creatures and the adventure of getting through. That's where the strength is. Those big chase scenes and riding bumblebees and escaping birds, and the slow motion of the, computer-generated animals looks beautiful and stunning. And there are moments when they have those slow-mo moments that are really breathtaking and actually really enjoyable. The problem for me is that's not enough for me to really say a movie is a good movie. But for your kids, for the 8-year-old in your life, it may just be awesome.